All right, you guys, I'm going to show you how to make some slip and get it ready to use for score slipping and melding, or even just for the slip trailing. All right, so in your container that you have, all you needed to do is grab a clump of clay, and I set in kind of your directions there. Just kind of break it up into small bits. So whether you do kind of long, snaky kind of things, or just round balls, okay? Just filling kind of that container with that bunch of clay, all right? We want it in the smaller bits, it'll break down a little quicker, so that's why we want smaller pieces of it. And so then just get that, add some water to it, okay? So we got little bits, we have another one here with more in it, and then you'll just cover it and let that sit, absorb, and start to break down, all right? Once it's been there for a while, you should be able to go in there, even with the plastic fork like this, and start just kind of mixing and blending it. If it's still pretty hard to do, okay, you might need to let it sit a little bit more, but try to chunk it up smaller. And if needed, add a little bit more water, and again, letting that soak and absorb. Okay, so you can see that it's already starting to get pretty mushy in there, and I can work this a little longer and it's going to get pretty smooth. So just keep kind of mushing and smushing, okay? Because then eventually we want to get to this really nice consistency that is going to be like maybe like sour cream, okay? So nice and smooth. Now for slip, that you need for score slipping and meld, it can be a little bit on the thinner side. For slip trailing, it needs to be that sour cream kind of consistency. Otherwise, this is gonna run right out of your bag or tube. Okay, so I said your simple thing you could do for slip trailing would be to use a baggie. If you do have access to kind of a little squirt bottle type of thing, you could use that. And they're all gonna work the same. So I'm gonna use my baggie, and I kind of roll back my top, and I'm gonna just try to get it into the one corner. I don't need to fill the whole bag. In a sandwich bag size or the snack bag size is about all you'll need. So just getting some stuff in there. It's nice and smooth, and just kind of shake it, okay, so it's down in there. Now, if you wanna make sure you're not gonna squeeze any of it out, close it. And I squished a lot of the air out of there. Okay. Next thing we need to do is cut a tiny little bit of the tip. And I mean it really tiny. You can adjust it later, but if you take too much off, it might be too big and you can't fix that, okay? Unless you get another bag. So I'm just gonna go tiny little bit, okay? And then you can always just try it. So we'll just kind of do it on the lid here so you can kind of see, and I'm gonna adjust. So I have a pretty thin kind of one, and that is gonna work really nice. If you want it a little thicker, like I said, you can just go back in there and just remove a little bit more, okay? And get to that consistency that you want, right? And that'll give you a really nice kind of bag to work with for your slip trailing on your design.